I didn't give it much thought to where it might end, but even if I had, I would never have predicted the emotional roller coaster that was about to happen. How could I? This is a story about me and my pedometer. You see, I'm in a new job that gives them out as a health promotion exercise. The idea is that if you know how many steps you take, you'll start to walk more. Mine arrived in the post, and I clipped it onto my trousers. And I became one of the tagged of Aberystwyth University. It felt good. I could check my steps without taking it off. I walked to work so I could clock up a load before I got to the office. It was easy and validating. I could do this. I was a healthy, good person. The pedometer told me so. I felt sorry for the people who drove to work, guilty with their low number of steps, disappointed when a lunchtime walk produced such little return. I, on the other hand, went drumming on a Monday. The jigging up and down let me clock up 12,000 steps that day. My pedometer and I were friends. I introduced it to my family. I let my son zero it every morning. I let my husband hold it sometimes. In the evening, I put it on my pyjamas. Might as well count those steps. I tried to work out where to put it on my clubbing clothes. I wanted it with me, always. Then it started to lie. I thought it was me. I must have misread it. I blamed my son. He must be zeroing it secretly. Finally, I faced the truth. I couldn't trust it. It wasn't working. I needed a new one, and while I waited, I would estimate my steps. But it wasn't the same. Seemed a bit silly. The whole thing did. I'm a free spirit. Why was I tagging myself? The new one arrived today. You can hardly see it under my jumper.
I arrived in Aberystwyth to study at the university when I was 20. When I got my results 3 years later, I was in a town 300 miles from the town I had woken up in. I was, in fact, in the town I was supposed to have been in the night before, in Yichin, a small town in the heart of the Czech Republic. The reason I had been 300 miles from Yichin in a town called Jichin, alone, all night, involved a simple human mistake, 2 extensive train journeys, and another story altogether. Yes, Yichin, Bristol, Totnes, London, even Eastbourne where I grew up. All these places have lured me towards them on the promise of adventure, work, money, wine and wonderment. And yet I can't successfully leave Aberystwyth. Is there something wrong with me? I've known lots of other people to leave and go on to lead happy, fulfilling lives. Some look back with a bitter eye, though most look back with fondness. Me, I have as many fond, bitter, happy, sad, proud and embarrassing memories as anyone else, and yet I still live here. A friend once told me, "You have the Aber bug, mate, you'll never leave." Well, that's where you're wrong. I'm like a gypsy wind, me, never wake up in the same place twice. Where I lay my hat is where I'll find my home. Well, I must have mislaid my hat somewhere in town, because on my 30th birthday I found myself in Aberystwyth, hungover, in a public toilet, with some anonymous stranger's modesty being proffered to me through the cubicle wall. Was this acknowledgement from the town? A 10-year commemorative ceremony? Some sort of horrid knighthood? Would it make me a bona fide local if I accepted? What if I declined? Would it be rude to just leave? I left town the next day, but as soon as I did, events conspired to find me shaking my fist at the sky, hanging my head to the ground and asking questions like, is this just a coincidence? Fate? Voodoo, even? I don't know for sure, but what I do know is that now, 11 years after I first arrived, 7 years after I said, 1 more year, and 5 months after I said, I'm not coming back, I have returned to this quiet, peaceful, serene, bottle-top town in mid-West Wales. Again.
The winter ponies are in the field opposite the house. ponies opposite the house and a smithy around the corner. The redundant, shiny, black-haired, brill-cream funfair boys come and run the ponies to the beach, a short, noisy trot down Marine Drive, shouting and neighing past the Café Royal where the summer Italians sell those cylindrical ice cream cones, Neapolitan pastel shades covered in paper. An old man watches their progress, shovel in hand, bent double with disease. We call him the Dutch, a leftover stranger in an island community. He waits for the ponies to pass and defecate in the road. Then, with a spurt of agility, he pounces, picking up the steaming manure with his gnarled old spade like he's digging for gold. 9 is in the allotment at the side of the house. The Dutch finds her there, offering his rusty spade, as he always does, to share his spoils. They barter a few words. He in Dutch, mest, she in Welsh, diolch, nodding stiffly to each other with a couple of half-shy smiles. 2 monoglot outsiders with an understanding in another country.
We invite you to join us in search of a new planet to inhabit. Please sign your disclaimers, put your spacesuits on, and follow us into the spaceship. Before we take off, before we leave Earth, cyn I ni gadael y ddaear, before we enter into the unknown, we hold a ceremony for Earth, for Ddaear, for the Erde, for Gaia, in which we will each light a light for something which we love on Earth. I dedicate this light to all those who went before us and made this journey possible. The glass and matches are passed around everyone. Dedications are made to imagination, science, seasons, nature, pets, and those that we love and have lost. Please take your seats, and we need one person to power our space engine. Don't change gear and begin pedalling at the end of the countdown. Lift off! Remembering the unnamed heroes of space travel. Can you hear me? Hello? Can anyone hear me? It's getting hot. Is this normal? Lost in space, going faster than the rest of the human race. We have hurtled past Mars, and now we've woven ourselves into a blanket of stars. Here nothing lives, and the tears that come can't fall at all. The unity of a language so quiveringly alive, he becomes a flame which bursts and crackles and flickers brightly. We have landed on our new planet. Let's see what it's like. Good luck in the unknown.